Why we need a hotel pack by Satchon Sims. I do have a chest infection, so please bear with my horsey voice. So public opinion, I asked you guys to go on a hotels pack and 68% of you said yes. So the majority of simmers in my Sims community at least would like a hotels pack. To give you a very brief overview, hotels have existed in every single major Sims title apart from The Sims 4. In previous Sims games, hotels weren't like their own pack. It's just something that came with many other different packs. Whereas in The Sims 4, they've taken the cop-out way of making vacation rentals, which are basically just normal houses that you rent for a limited period of time only. But that's not to say a hotel system, or at least a similar system, cannot be integrated into The Sims 4 in some way. So I'd like to look at how it may or may not actually work in the game. Before we had vacation rentals in every single world, we only previously had them in Jungle Adventure and Outdoor Retreat. Vacation rentals came very early on in the Sims 4 life cycle, and that's because Outdoor Retreat was the first ever pack for the Sims 4, but it took until the Sims 4 Island Living expansion pack before vacation rentals were available in every single world. So taking a look at my dream pack idea for hotels. Now, I emphasize on dream because we know the Sims 4 is not an ambitious game, it's the least ambitious Sims game, but if the current Sims team plus EA's budgets miraculously develop the Sims 3 passion that I miss, this is what I'd like to see. Being able to manage and run your own hotel, or a hotel resort like an all-inclusive resort, or just a smaller motel, or an Airbnb, etc. That would be fun. Being able to place hotels in any world, meaning that it's totally cross-pack compatible. The pack could also come with the world itself instead of being able to place them in any world. This could be a world that's focused on tourism and entertainment and having an overarching world theme of trying to boost tourism in the area. We could have a world that looks like Vegas, although we have way too many American worlds in The Sims 4. Las Vegas would be a great option. Another great option would be Shagaloof, Benidorm, Ibiza. I am sorry, if you're not British, you won't understand what Shagaloof means. Basically, Benidorm, Ibiza, Shagaloof, these are places in Spain, if you don't know. It's basically like the British people's version of Las Vegas. And then, of course, we would have some new careers, a tour guide career, an event coordinator career, an entertainer career. These could all be self-employed careers, which would be really, really fun. And then, of course, some modern luxury hotel decor, because I personally feel like we're missing a lot of basic modern decor, because we have a lot of modern decor, but it's very extravagant. And the thing about hotels is that they're often very warm and cozy and basic, yet modern at the same time. And I just think that would work so well. And I think people would really appreciate it. I think people would like a lot more modern architecture. I think people would like to see more bedroom furniture that's plain and simple, because we don't actually have that many simple bedroom things. And I think people would like some more luxury bathroom stuff, because we don't really have much good bathroom stuff. And of course, it would come with some new activities. For example, casinos, nightclubs, sightseeing. Taking a look at some quirky features from the perspective of hotel management, which I think would be very popular. I stole all of these ideas from this user on the official Sims 4 forum websites. So this includes obviously hiring staff, checking Sims into rooms, room service, cleaning, entertaining, doing maintenance, managing chlorine levels in pools. That sounds interesting. Obviously food, dealing with annoying, horrible guests, dealing with cockroaches in the hotel, staff quitting, hotel critics, celebrity guests, a hotel rating system, honeymoons. These would all come together to make a very cool system, and a lot of these were implemented in The Sims 3 Island Paradise, which is like The Sims 4 Island Living, but a lot better because it had hotel resorts along with many other features. In terms of from the perspective of a tourist not actually owning and managing a hotel, I would love to see a revamped memory system. Have your Sims actually be able to record the memories of going on holiday, being able to reminisce about them, being able to make their own scrapbook up, reminiscing about things they did on holiday, etc, etc, having maybe a travel journal implemented into the game. This would work very well. And of course, some new travel aspirations, for example, about sightseeing, wanting to explore all the sites, aspirations for the kinds of people who don't like sightseeing, but they just like relaxing and partying. And I would love to see a Karen trait in The Sims 4, and I think this would be a great way to introduce it. Having a sim that is self-entitled and complains all of the time, this would be hilarious. Pool bars as well is something that I know a lot of simmers really want, and again, it would be great to have your sims be able to go to a pool bar. Of course, if it's a family hotel, then there'll be family activities. Simmers have been dying for more family gameplay for ages, and it would be a great way to implement it. And then of course, unique buyables. This is something that we saw a lot in the Sims 3 world adventures, where you could buy certain things but only in the specific worlds, and a lot of these were actually like hobbies and interest activities. And then of course, culture skills. We actually have this kind of with the Sims 4 Jungle Adventure. We have the Salvadorian culture skill where you can speak the language better, but I would like to see something again more reminiscent of the Sims 3 world adventures, containing more different cultural skills. For example, if you went to China in the Sims 3 world adventures, there was a martial arts skill, and I think these things would be really fun. However, we have to be realistic. The Sims 4 is not ambitious. Unfortunately, this will never ever change. The Sims 4 has never been ambitious, and it never will be ambitious. I do believe the current Sims team don't hold much regard for the previous Sims games. I do think it's a bit, I have absolutely no idea what the work culture is in EA, but I do feel like there is an issue. The Sims 4 was not made for fun or creativity or ambition. It was made to make money. You can fight me on that, but a fact is a fact. Allegedly. The next one is hardware limitations. The Sims 4 does not run that well anymore. The Sims 3 used to be considered the worst game for performance, but now the Sims 4 is actually becoming a bit worse than the Sims 3. Having a hotel with loads of different NPCs just wouldn't work very well. The next thing is bad coding or spaghetti coding. The Sims 4 was not built on a very good platform, and as a result, it would be difficult to implement a mechanic like this, especially with so many different NPCs doing different things at the same time. I personally just can't see it working that well. The next issue is wokeness. Of course, if you're having a holiday pack, then you need worlds to facilitate that somewhere which is considered a nice holiday destination. Every single time the Sims team have done a world which is not either British or American, people have complained about things like cultural appropriation. People have complained about how things are culturally insensitive. People from Western countries are overly sensitive wet wipes, and they find a way to get offended about everything. And EA, like almost every other company in the world, listens to snowflakes way too much and don't stand up to them. So I do believe that EA would be quite fearful of introducing another culture as a holiday tourist destination. So many people complained when Jungle Adventure came out that it was taking precious South American culture and turning it into a tourist trap, and that's deeply offensive. Like, people get offended over crap, and if you want to fight me for that in the comments, then all you do is prove me right. So that is another issue. And the next issue, which is the main issue, which is why it's highlighted in red, and that is a disjointed pack system. Taking a look at restrictions to a holidays pack, one of the biggest criticisms of The Sims 4 in general is that it's just way too disjointed. There are so many separate experiences that it's impossible to have one giant nice collective experience because they're all too far spread apart, and there's not enough cross-pack compatibility in order to put them together. Snowy Escape is already like a vacation world with tourism and sightseeing. So is Jungle Adventure. We couldn't have a new tourism world with nightclubs because we already have those in Get Together. We couldn't have a cleaning system in a hotel pack because they wouldn't be able to wash bed sheets, because that would be a feature of laundry day, because the Sims team would simply not allow any other pack to have a washing machine. Island living is of course a beachy style resort place with events to do, so they wouldn't allow that. Spa day. Spas is something that you have in almost every single hotel, but we couldn't have spas in a hotel pack for The Sims 4. We also couldn't have restaurants. Of course, a fundamental feature of any hotel is a restaurant, but that would be locked behind a dine out pack. And then of course, honeymoons would be a nice feature of a hotel pack. Honeymoons are not an expanded feature in My Wedding Stories, but they wouldn't put it in a hotel pack because it should be something that would be included in a wedding pack. This is honestly one of my main criticisms of The Sims 4. Features don't need to be spread apart in their own separate individual packs. In every single previous Sims games, like restaurants were not a previous pack thing. They just came in some packs but didn't come in other packs. There was no special restaurant designated pack, and that gave the Sims team at the time the freedom to put restaurants in any pack that they saw appropriate. But in The Sims 4, they can't do that, and it's a really big shame that they went down this path with The Sims 4. I think it's a capitalistic model that benefits EA but does not benefit the player. So that's something important to consider. So looking at some more realistic alternatives, the first alternative is a get to work refresh. Many people have been saying they wanted to get to work refresh for a while. So a great way to refresh it is with a lot management system. We actually had the ability to own lots in The Sims 3. So in The Sims 4 get to work refresh, they could make ownable vacation lots. Being able to own and rent out vacation lots would be a great feature. Another one is a very very simple real estate and community lot management feature, simply being able to buy it for a very high price but getting a small bit of money every single week in game. This would suit long players, people who play on long lifespan. And then of course a ticket booth or entry fee system coming in the pack where you can make money that way. It's not the exact same thing as a hotels pack. It would be the next best thing, being more realistic than idealistic. The next one is a cruise ship pack, or at least a mini cruise ship world. Now in The Sims 3, a custom world was actually made by a creator, which I've put in the picture down here. This is basically a world that's in the shape of a cruise ship, and I think they could implement it in The Sims 4 very, very well. If they had, for example, just separate private rooms, like you know how in The Sims 4 anyway, you have multiple different lots in a closed off neighborhood, but you can only visit one lot at a time and the general outside area. I feel like something like this could work very well in a cruise ship world or a cruise ship closed neighborhood, if you get me. It's not the same as having a hotel, but being able to go on the cruise, I think is a slightly more realistic idea. The next one is a B&B stuff pack. Of course, we can't have restaurants, which would be a very, very, very big limitation, but perhaps the Sims team could stretch to give us at least breakfast. There could be, for example, a max of 5 rooms or even 3 rooms if they're worried about hardware limitations, or just 2 or even 1 room. It would be your house where you live in, but there'll be like a separate area where guests could stay, and in the morning you have to offer them a breakfast and then they go out for the rest of the day. This could be quite easy for them to implement because you can already implement roommates in The Sims 4, so this will basically be like just having roommates, having it coded so that they go out for the entire day and only come back in the evening, so they're only there for the evening and the morning. It would be a very, very tiny feature. I don't know if they have the ability to do it in a way that wouldn't be too glitchy, but I think it's small enough to fit in a stuff pack, and I'd say just a little bit more realistic. The next more realistic option, which is the least realistic option, is a motel or a villa game pack. If a hotel is just not doable, the idea of having a motel or a villa would be nicer, because a motel or a villa is much smaller. It's like with The Sims 4 Get to Work. It's impossible to have really big retail stores, but with the pack you can make smaller boutiques, and a smaller boutique style hotel, in other words a villa, would be very, very nice. It would have some very basic features, star ratings, reviews and complaints, just like the Get Together retail system, or just like The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs veterinary career system. In The Sims 4 you can't really do anything yourself as a staff member in these kinds of mechanics. Usually you have to hire staff for you, so simply just hiring front desk and a cleaner would be fine, and having them buildable in any world, so a game pack that doesn't come with a world itself, but just being able to build them in any of the worlds. I think that would be very, very nice. Could a hotel game pack save The Sims 4? Simply no. I'm sorry. I've clickbaited you with this video. I made you believe that we're getting a brand new Sims 4 hotels pack, and I'm ending it by saying it's not happening because it's so unrealistic. I'm sorry. But the whole purpose of this video was to review, could a hotel game pack save The Sims 4? The reason why I say no is simply based on the fact that The Sims 4 pack system is way too disjointed to have ambitious packs like a hotels and resorts pack. By the way, I didn't go into this video wanting to bitch about EA or The Sims 4 because I know some of you think I'm a negative person. I'm not. I'm just honest. If hypothetically I was a YouTuber when The Sims 3 came out, then it would have been a really, really positive, upbeat video about how I want to implement it. The reason why this video is not upbeat and it's a little bit more pessimistic is because The Sims 4 is just simply not built that way. The Sims 4 is not designed to facilitate ambitious features, and that is something that I discovered and explored whilst developing this PowerPoint presentation. Do you know what? I absolutely love making PowerPoints. The last time I did a PowerPoint is when I did my Sims 4 kit wish list, so please check that video out. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.